Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Above the Rim Rundown, where we run down all things NBA. I am one of your hosts, Memo, and right beside me, I've got Hoops. How you doing, Hoops?
What's going on, man? I've been doing all right, mostly just hanging through life for the most part, honestly. Um, for the most part, pretty similar to usual programming, just trying to get through and I guess live each day. How you doing, man?
Good. Like we just talked about before, recording. I've been a little stressed because there's been a lot going on. And there's going to be a lot going on very soon that might even affect our recording time. So hopefully we'll still have episodes for the next few weeks, especially since the season's right about to start. Like currently, it's preseason. There's games going on right now, but yeah. Hopefully, I'm hoping for the best. But if we miss an episode or miss a week, uh, there's definitely a big reason why. But other than that, I've been fine. Just working, just doing my thing. I've been working. I've been consistent working out again. I had a week where like my week got messed up, but I'm back to like um being consistent. And have you do you eat protein bars? Because like I made like it's not new, but like it's new to me and it's, like blowing my mind. This brand. But do you eat protein bars at all?
Not very often. Every now and then, like if let's say for example, my mom bought like a pack from Costco, then I'll have some. But I usually don't really go out of my way as far as protein bars. Did you say you just kind of started, or you've
Uh,
been having it
well,
for
I've
a minute?
had like I've bought like jugs of protein like shake powders before, but this week
Mm,
since I kind of want to save money instead of like eating out during my lunch break, went out to like buy snacks and I decided to get protein bars with it as well because like since I've been working out, I should try to gain some more muscle by adding some more protein to my diet, and I decided to pick up these like Doctor, I believe Irving's Fit Crunch protein bars.
I've had those before. You like them?
They're so good. They're so
Yeah.
good.
Was it? You have the one? Is this supposedly like a cookie crunch flavor or something like that, or
Uh,
Oreo
I
like?
I had like the Oreo like one, like the cookies and milk one.
Yeah,
So good.
that
It's like a
that one is
candy.
good.
It's like a candy. It's
Yeah,
so
it
good.
is.
It has like 16 grams of protein, only 3 grams of sugar. So it's not sponsored or anything, but it's really good. I have the. I also bought this like strawberry shortcake one, and that's really good as well. And I told my mom about it because I was like hyper fixated about the purchase, and she bought me a pack from Costco that I haven't tried, but it was like a peanut flavored one, peanut butter flavored one, which I again haven't tried, but I'm sure it's gonna be good if those two were like that great. So
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, those two are also Robert Irvine or not Robert
yeah,
Irvine.
yeah, yeah, they were.
Oh, okay. I've actually never had those two. I only had the cookie crunch flavor. It was good though.
Yeah, so right now that's my new obsession, especially since like I tried other bars before, like Quest. I tried a Quest one where it's supposed to be like a blueberry muffin, and I love blueberry muffins, so I decided to pick that up. And it was so whack. Like it, you could feel like that powder in your tongue, and it's so
Mm,
dry. It's hard to stomach. I ended up throwing a few away. So
oh man.
I'm glad I could find one that actually like tastes good and has a decent
Yeah,
amount of protein.
for sure. I think I remember there was this one protein bar brand that was pretty good. Have you heard of I think it was called like Tiger Bars or something. Does that sound familiar?
No, not to me.
I Yeah, I think I remember our high school used to have those in the vending machine. I
Really?
didn't get it from it. vending machine, but I do remember that brand though.
Interesting. Interesting. So
Yeah, but yeah,
that's
every now and then protein bars I'll have, just not super often. I do think some of them do taste good though, like the Robert Irvine one.
yeah, they're great. They're great.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah.
okay, let's talk about basketball. Since that's the purpose of this video. And so the topic of this episode is different from what we've been covering. We've been ranking players for weeks and weeks now, and it's been like a very popular series on our channel. We had like a lot more views than usual because of it. In fact, last week was our most viewed video. I don't know if you've seen that, um, but it got our most amount of views, beating out I think our coverage of either the finals or the in season tournament. We one of those two used to be our most viewed episode, but now it's our ranking of our top 25 players. Which if you haven't seen that, watch it. It's a fun video. It's interesting takes there. But we are now going to dive into something completely different, and instead of ranking players, we are kind of ranking jerseys. Or we're putting jerseys on a tier list. More specifically, the 2024-2025 NBA City Edition jerseys. So we have a tier list that we both separately made our own tier list, but together in this episode, we are making one together. So this is a
We're
good,
gonna Yeah, I was gonna say we're gonna find some common ground in
yeah.
this one.
We're either
Yeah.
gonna. I don't know what's your takes. I guess our takes are gonna be very different, especially since you do have a background in graphic design. That's what you've studied, so I'm sure your artistic eyes are uh, better than mine. But so it'll be
Maybe
interesting.
more so like a different mindset
Yeah, different
versus
mindset, different perspective. So I think that's
yeah.
what's gonna make this interesting. Um, and did you have any trouble ranking them at all? Like, it was definitely not a good crop, but I
Yeah.
liked more than I thought I would. I'll say that.
I will say this, when I first saw these jerseys like a month ago or whenever they were first revealed, I thought a lot more lowly of them. But after seeing them again while doing the rankings for this video, I realized that some of them were not as horrible as originally anticipated. And as far as like the overall big picture, I feel like a, not very many of them are per se horrible in my opinion, but also like not very many of them are great either. So a lot of like very mid designs in my opinion. And then there were some good ones and some kind of trashy ones, but um overall they definitely could have done better for sure though.
Yeah, it. You know, when these city jerseys were first like revealed that they were making these through Nike like years and years ago. It was a fun idea. Like we got some cool jerseys because of it, but I think they're starting to run out of ideas. I think that's the issue now. They're like repeating
Yeah,
ideas, changing colorways, not doing much anymore, and a lot of them look lazy. But some of them are still nice. Some of them are still cool.
I agree there. And like the running out of ideas is definitely probably true. And I feel like that honestly should lead to like some teams just wearing the same city jersey for like 2 years or 3 years, maybe. Because some teams create some really nice city jerseys, but then they only wear it 1 year and we don't get to see them wear it again, which kind of is sad at times. Versus like and we have seen some teams do that. Like some teams would wear the city jersey like maybe 2 years straight or 3 years before they get rid of them for a new design. But Yeah, for the most part, unfortunately, they're just one and done goes. Well, some of them it's fortunate because the jerseys are really bad, but some of them they're actually good, and it's like, damn, I wish they wore it another year. But yeah, I think it definitely does seem like they're losing a little bit of creativity for sure.
Yeah, I think they're putting the money before the actual artistic value of the jersey because, you know, turning out these jerseys every year means you have more jerseys to sell every year. Therefore, you can
Yeah,
earn more money like that, which sucks because, like, you know, what if I want to get that Mamba jersey from 4 years ago? I can't. I can't do that. I
yeah.
can't
I
buy
mean,
a
you can get
LeBron jersey like that.
you can get a knockoff, but they won't sell the authentic ones anymore.
Yeah.
Um,
Yes. So
yeah,
it's like the NBA wants us to buy knockoffs at this point because, like, how are you
yeah.
supposed to buy these nice jerseys if you guys only sell them once or for a year and then let it go to an abyss?
Yeah, it's definitely disappointing in that perspective. But I will say one of my ideas on how they could potentially fix the issue of the downhill city jerseys. I'm not sure if you recall, but back in 2015, the Mavs had they literally had like a fan contest of like having fans design jerseys, pitch to the team, and then they pick the one that they liked. And then they literally chose a fan made design and wore that. The one was like the Dallas City line. That was honestly pretty cool. I feel like if more teams decided to have like a fan made design contest, low key, we could have some like really cool concepts again. Cause like even on IG pages from like those jersey design or like graphic design concept pages, I have seen like really cool jersey concepts that low key would be fire if the NBA used it. But unfortunately, those are just hypothetical ones made from creative content creators online. But if teams are willing to like get some intake from fans, I'm sure we will get some really cool designs once again.
Yeah, I didn't know this, but that's a cool idea.
Yeah.
Maybe they should lean into that. But okay, I guess that's enough yapping about our thoughts on city jerseys. Let's actually look at some city jerseys and rank them on a tier list. So let's go. So here it is. Here's the tier list that we will be utilizing in this episode. I guess I could link it down in the YouTube description if anybody else wants to do the tier list themselves. And once again, this is a good episode to be on the YouTube because, again, we have the actual tier list up so you can visually see not only the tier list and where we put the jerseys, but you can actually see some of the jerseys not very up close or very high quality because of I guess Discord is kind of being an ass right now. But it is what it is, so it's definitely one that you want to watch instead of just listen. But we'll try our best to describe everything as well as possible. And yes, so I guess we'll try our best to work together in order to rank these jerseys. Uh, and we'll start with this Atlanta jersey. This Atlanta Hawks jersey. It has a white and light blue, baby blue colorway. The Atlanta, I guess, word is diagonal with a blue stripe. And honestly, I really like it. I think it's a nice looking jersey. I'm not in love with it, but I like this colorway. What about you?
So I must say this. The colorway, I do not mind it, but I'm not really a huge fan of this design. Um, I will say after looking at it a little bit more, I don't think it's like horrible, but I would say like maybe like around like the okay like C tier-ish is what I was thinking. Um, were you thinking a little bit higher than that, or
Just a little bit.
what do you think?
I was thinking B tier. B tier was where I was looking at. I do have my tier list up, so I'm referencing it a little bit, but I
Yeah, same. I will
um
admit I ranked it quite low in my original list, but yeah,
did it grow on you a little?
I would say a little bit, just because like I am a fan of like powder blue jerseys. Granted, this is more of a white jersey, but then it has like a little bit of powder blue on it. So it definitely, I think, grew on me a little bit. Like I don't dislike it as much as I did at first, but maybe like I think maybe like around C range is okay. But you think like a B range?
Uh, I was
Also,
thinking B, but right now I am thinking about like where's the number gonna go, because none of these jerseys shows like any numbers.
yeah,
So is the number gonna be like in a weird like side angle? Is it gonna be right in the
like
middle? How, I don't know
that's
where it would fit.
that's that's actually a thing I did not even consider. Like, is it just gonna be in like the white area between the two blue strips? That's
It,
what I think would make the most
it would
sense.
have to. I just
But
don't know where. Where would it
yeah,
make sense?
I'm thinking maybe what they'll do is the right side, or or maybe it'll be on the left, like right below the H A maybe. But like, it's I have no
I think
idea honestly.
I think for
I feel
that
like that,
reason I would put it to C. I would rank it down
yeah,
to C.
I think I think that's a good idea. And I think another thing is like that could definitely like make or break the jersey too. I mean, like
Yeah,
if the number is placed really poorly, that could move it down.
number
Versus
placement
if,
is underrated. You gotta think about that for sure.
yeah, definitely. I think that's one of the flaws of these like jersey concepts here, that they don't have, they should have put a number.
Yeah, because some of them I have no idea where they're gonna put the number.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
but yeah, let's move on to the next one, which is the Charlotte Hornets one. Is that a teal? Do you would you say that's a teal?
It's I think it's like a tealish, but it's
Ivory
kind of
maybe?
weird. It's weird to me because I feel like it almost looks a little bit lighter than a teal
Lighter
color.
is more greenish than anything, so it's like
Yeah,
ivory, emerald, maybe
maybe. Yeah.
aquamarine. Around that realm. It's a pinstripe jersey that says Charlotte
Yeah.
on the chest. How do you feel about this one?
It's like okay to me. Like I don't hate it, don't love it either. Um, Hornets, I prefer their like light, light bluish one. That's like you could call it as like more like a legit turquoise-ish jersey, maybe. Whatever ones they're like traditional light blue. I like those better. But this is okay. Like I was thinking maybe like a C tier, honestly. But what do you think about these jerseys?
I was thinking, see, I'm not in love with this one, especially the color. I'm not a big fan of this color.
Yeah,
Kind
me
of
too.
ironic, I guess, because like I don't know if you see my Discord profile picture, but that's kind of similar.
Oh,
And I like
a
how it
little bit.
looks on my profile picture, but on this jersey, it
Yeah,
does not look good. It's a little lighter, and I
yeah.
usually like the color schemes that the Hornets used for the most part, but this is not one of them that
I
I do enjoy.
I think it's kind of like a mint green a little bit, right?
Mint green, I think that's the best way you could describe it. Yeah,
Yeah, mint green. Yeah, I
it's
feel
too
like teal
minty.
is better.
Yeah,
Yeah,
teal
I
is
feel
for
like
sure
teal is
better.
better. Yeah, so yeah, that belongs in C. I think we agreed there.
Yeah. Next one, Brooklyn Nets. They're continuing with I believe, a cause design. It looks awfully
Yeah,
familiar from last year, except it's less
yeah.
colorful. There's still colors on the Brooklyn
Hmm.
part on the chest, like it says Brooklyn a little curved on the chest, and the letters are white, but the background of those letters are a bunch of different colors, bunch of different, I believe, primary colors. And the jersey itself is like a bunch of different shades of gray. There's like 50 shades of gray in there. So, how do you feel about this one? Because honestly, I like it a lot more than last year.
Honestly, I was gonna say like I don't hate it, but low key don't really love it either. I do think it's better than last year's. Low key, I was thinking maybe a C again, but what were
See,
you thinking? Higher?
yeah, I was thinking a lot higher. Uh, Due to like how rough this crop of jerseys is, are
Yeah.
I kind of like graded by a curve. So I don't remember where I put it, but I think I put it as high as like S or A because
Oh, really?
yeah,
That
because
high?
by comparison, like a lot of these jerseys suck, and I think I
Yeah.
like this cause design a lot more because the jersey itself, I like how it sticks to a simpler color scheme. While last year, they had the grays and blacks, but they also threw splashes of red and blue everywhere that
Yeah.
threw it
Each
off
color too.
threw it
Yeah.
off, and I feel like the pop of color looks nice on the Brooklyn for this year's jersey. So that's why I like it so much. But you're saying C. Would you compromise and put it in B?
Yeah, I can do that, honestly.
Cool, cool,
I
cool.
could definitely argue a point that it's better than the Hawks and Hornets jersey. So yeah, I
Yeah,
think B would be fine.
for sure the Hornets jersey.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like them. I don't like these next ones, which I believe are the Mavs. There's like very simple
Yeah,
white jerseys.
I agree. I do not like these jerseys.
There's really nothing
Like,
special
okay,
about it. I'm trying to see
it's
a
just
bigger picture of it right now, but like it's just white with some silver on the side. I guess
it's just so plain.
it
'Do you
is.
remember last year? I think they used the same font, but for a black jersey, and that one was not bad in my opinion.
I
But
remember
the white
those.
one,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, but the white one I don't like.
I,
Um,
I don't like
I
these
think
white
I put
ones.
yeah I put this in D tier on mine. But what do you think?
I think I
Oh
did the
well,
same
okay,
thing.
okay. Let me also make a little note that I actually did not add an F tier, so that's why
Oh,
maybe
I did
yeah,
add an F tier to mine, so ours are for
yeah,
sure gonna look different.
yeah, it would be a little bit different there, which is fine, I guess, because like we kind of just like both made our like own tier list makers. But I would say D, or maybe you could argue F, but I would say maybe D for the Mavs jersey.
Yeah, let's do D. I'm not a big fan of these. It's not the worst thing in the world, but it's very,
Yeah,
very boring
yeah, I do think that the black ones were so much better.
for sure.
Yeah.
These next ones are black, and they're from the Golden State Warriors. They have some red on the side, some yellow, uh, like bordering the collar and I guess the armholes. And I
Hmm.
believe what does it say? Does it say Golden State? It's kind of like in a circle
Um,
pattern.
yeah, it says Golden State.
Golden State
Um,
in yellow. What do you think about these?
okay, let me start out by saying my first impression was that I thought this looked a lot like a Denver Nuggets jersey,
Kind of,
more so
yeah,
than the Warriors.
yeah.
And and maybe even a little bit like an Indiana Pacers jersey, like font, like the circle like font thing, because the Pacers did some of those circle like shape outlines before too. That being said, like I don't hate this jersey, but I do think it does look more like a Denver jersey than a Golden State jersey. Um, I think I put it in the C tier range. I could argue that it could go higher, but maybe like around C. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't think I liked these ones when I was ranking them. I mean, it's not the worst thing in the world. Like looking back at it now, I guess I don't like the circle design of the
Yeah,
word Golden State. And
yeah, because
usually, I
the number would be in the circular shape in between the golden and the state,
right.
which I don't know how I feel about that, but
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that either. I think they've done
mm,
like this colorway a lot better in the past. I think they had like a
oh, for sure.
Chinese New Year one where it was
Oh,
similar.
those are fire.
Yeah, but yeah, I think I put it in D or C.
Mm, yeah, I put it in C, so I don't know, maybe C tier.
We could
I
put
mean,
it
do
in
you think it's better? Do
C.
you think it's better than the Mavs jersey? Because I think so.
It might be. I think I was hating when I ranked it because I think I did put it pretty low, but
Mm,
it's not the worst thing in the world. So I'm down to put it
yeah,
in
it's all
C.
right.
Yeah, it's
Mm-hmm.
all right. Next one is for the Bulls, and it looks very similar to the Mavs, except I
Yeah,
guess instead of silver, they went for like a goldish color on like the
yeah.
sides and the border of the color. And once again, it's a white jersey,
Mm-hmm. Very plain.
very plain.
That being said, yeah. That being said, honestly, I'm also not a fan of these. Um, I also had it in D tier.
TT, I feel like that makes
Once,
sense.
yeah. Once again, I did not have an F tier on my list. So that's why it was D versus like F, for example. But yeah, I think around the same range as the Mavs jersey.
Okay, let's do that. Let's add it and have it join with the Mavs since they look so similar that
They look
it
too similar.
exactly it only makes sense to put it together.
Yeah,
Right up next, we got the Clippers. It says Clips, with this like light blue jersey and a dark blue lettering for the Clips. I I'm assuming there's like that little basketball, for the eye, like the dot of the eye that they usually
yeah,
do
I
for
think
that
so.
Clips jersey.
Yeah,
I'm not a fan of these. I feel like there's the blues are not clashing in a good way.
yeah, I agree. I think they did a in. I think what they did is like an inverse of the city jerseys last year, because I believe last year it was a navy blue and the font was a light blue, and then they flipped it this year. It looks like.
I
And I must say
think
this:
so.
usually, yeah, usually I'm a fan of baby blue jerseys, but I just feel like the font does not match well with the base of the main color. So that being said, I think I put it in like the C range only. Probably like the fact that I like baby blue jerseys made me put it in the C range. But aside from that, like I could argue D.
I might
What do you
lean.
think?
I might lean towards D. I think it just looks stupid. The font, like
Yeah,
the clips part, it's just stupid. I've never been a fan of that.
it,
It's very
it is really
simple,
dumb.
and
Yeah,
again, I don't like how the blues look with each other. So, I would say
I
D.
yeah, I can I can roll with that. D
Uh,
tier for Clippers.
okay, so that'll be D. And this next one won't be D, I think. It's the Jazz one, where it's purple.
Oh yeah,
It shows the mountains, very similar to a bunch of jerseys they've had in the past. I think it's
yeah.
awfully similar to the city jerseys from last year as well. I honestly
Yeah,
don't really remember like the difference between the two.
me
Was it like a
either.
lighter
Like
purple, or are they bringing these back another year? I really don't remember.
I don't remember what the difference is. I feel like they're very minimal, if not all different.
I'm gonna look it up
But
really quickly.
yeah. But that being said, like I feel like this is easily S tier.
I think I agree. It's a classic.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, I
Like
see a
Utah,
difference, but it's subtle.
yeah, like Utah Jazz. Whenever they do the mountain jerseys,
It's
it's
always sick.
usually, yeah, usually not a miss. I feel like it's hard to miss it. Now, when they use the jazz note, I feel like the flops happen a lot more often. I'm not as a big fan of the jazz note, even though technically it makes more sense because jazz music and jazz notes, but the
Yeah,
mountains do look a lot better.
it does. And yeah, looking at the one from last year and this year, it's very similar, but
Mm-hmm.
I think the mountains on this year's look a little more like actual mountains, while last year it's more like modernized and simplistic compared to this one,
Yeah,
and therefore I kind of think this one looks better. Because
yeah,
sometimes the modernization and the simplicity of like logos and designs kind of look whack. So, uh, yeah, I think this one's pretty good. So that's our first S tier of the evening. Let's see how many more can we get. And yeah, let's look at these next ones. It's the Kings. They're going patriotic on us. They're going red, white, and blue. It's mainly a blue jersey with a red and white stripe on the side, and the letters are in white. It says Kings with like a red shadow or background. How do you feel about these?
honestly, initially speaking, I wasn't really a huge fan of it. Like the font, I think is just like so ish. Um, I feel like low key, I like the stripes with the white and the red better than the base blue color, which usually is not a good thing if like the main
Uh,
color, in my eyes, is not as good as the secondary colors. But I kind of thought of it as like a bit of like a C tier jersey. Were you thinking better?
I was thinking better. I really like these.
Like by
Um,
a lot?
uh, kind of. I think I put it as
Mm,
high as A. I think A is
mm,
where I went for it because, yeah, although the color scheme is very simplistic, it's a classic, color scheme. It I
yeah.
I like the colorway. I like the font. I think it's really good, and again, this isn't the best crop of jerseys, so I am kind of grading on a scale. So I think I put it as high as A. You said C though, right?
Yeah, that's what I thought initially. So
So B.
maybe like in between we can do B, yeah.
Okay, we'll do
And
B.
yeah, and I will say this, like a lot of these jerseys, I feel like would have a lot more justice once we see them actually worn on the court than just on a white background.
Oh yeah, uh, I've seen some photo shoots for some players wearing some of these jerseys, and
And they look a lot better, right?
they look better. They do look better.
Yeah,
So I agree
for
with you
sure.
there. Next one is the Houston Rockets. It is white. It says H Town with a really cool font. I love this font. I think it looks
Yeah.
pretty cool. But what do you think?
I agree. The font looks really cool, but I also feel like the font looks kind of hard to read a little bit too. Like,
From
I feel
afar,
like,
it is hard to read.
yeah,
It is very
definitely.
squished together. I'll say that.
Yeah, so I feel like they didn't do a good job there. Like, they could have done better with like a outline color for the font to like distinguish a little more. So that's the only part I don't like about it, but I do like the font. And I think because of how squished it is and how hard it could look if you like try to like look from a far distance, I bumped it down a little bit to a C versus a B if it was like a little bit more easier and legible to read. But what were you thinking about this Rockets jersey?
I think I put it A. I know I put it pretty high. And again, I love the font. I know it's hard to read from afar, but I think up close and personal, it looks sick. And I just like how it pops off of the white. So I think I might have said like A. But should we put it in the middle once again and put in B?
I think that's a good idea. Yeah, B tier.
All right, B it is. So H. Oh, I put in A. My bad. It's the self-conscious, I guess, speaking for me there. But yeah, we have another B. Next one. What is this? The New York one, Knicks. I believe it's similar to last year, where like they had the 3D-ish looking New York.
Oh, wait. Isn't that the Oklahoma City Thunder jersey?
You're right.
Yeah, but I think it is similar to the one they wore last year, though. Also for OKC.
Yeah, a lot of these are in general. My bad. They are OKC jerseys. What does it say? Oklahoma in the front.
Oklahoma.
Like
yeah.
on my end, it's hard to read these, so my bad for just talking out of my ass. But they're black. They have orange.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think it only says Oklahoma, not even the city. So just Oklahoma, representing the state.
And I forgot. I think wasn't there like a design on the side of this jersey?
Yeah.
There's some like blue. There's some blue on the side between like the orange stripe, I believe. It's almost like a camouflage-ish pattern with the blue and the black. What do you think about these?
Overall, I actually like these jerseys a good amount. Originally, I think I put it as like a B tier. I could argue A tier, honestly. What do you think?
I don't think I would go that high because I'm not in love with these. I think these are kind of mid. I like how the orange pops up though. I think the way that pops it's nice. It's really nice there. But the fact that it just says Oklahoma, one of the most boring ass states. like what are we doing here? And I guess the size kind of helps, especially knowing that it's blue. I think I would have said C, so I'm willing to put it up to B.
Okay, let's do that.
All right, so it is going to the B. We have several Bs. Will this next one be a B? It's the Minnesota Timberwolves jersey, which is essentially the inverse of last year's, where it looked very watery. I don't know if you all remember, but it looked very watery, and then at the top it turns white. And I remember not being the biggest fan of those, but when I saw it on like the players, it grew on me a bit. At the moment, though, I'm not loving this jersey. I think it looks worse because it's more white this time than blue, and I prefer the blue. But what do you think? Do you agree, or do you like these more?
I agree. I like the ones last year better, but I do like the design of these. And I will say this: it does look a lot more plain than last year's, but I do happen to like the design of like that glacier, like whatever you want to call it. I think I may have ranked this one like actually quite high, like A, for example.
A.
But I can argue B maybe. Were you thinking even lower though?
I was thinking lower, but I'm willing to put in B for you.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, again, I'm not very in love with these. I like the ones from last year better, and I don't even think I would put last year's in B. Maybe I'd put in B, but like at the highest,
Mm.
I'd put in B. So,
Yeah, I think last year I had the Timberwolves one in A, so
oh,
I
okay,
do
so
like that one
that
better.
makes sense then.
Yeah, I do like the blue being primary over the white being primary though,
Yeah, same. Next
for
one,
sure.
Memphis, going with a totally different colorway. They're going with red, and it looks good. It
Yeah.
looks really good. I love the cursive on the Memphis. I like the subtle white um, on the collar and the arms whole thing. You're a fan of these two?
Oh, I'm a huge fan of these. I put it at A, but I could even argue S, honestly.
I think I put it in S.
Okay, let's do it then. S tier.
S tier. Let's go. They're just a. It's a nice red. It's like the perfect red, and to balance it
Agreed. And
out
the
with that
font is
white,
cool too.
the font looking sexy. It's good. It's
Yeah.
good.
I agree. I think the reason why I originally had it in A is I didn't think it was quite on the jazz level. But that even then, like it's still really good. Like for sure S is reasonable.
To be fair though, nothing really is on the jazz level. Like that could be its own
Right.
tier, or just jazz. The jazz
Yeah,
purple
just yeah.
mountain jersey. That specific jersey could be in its own tier.
Yeah. The Jazz might be like a very mediocre team on the basketball court, but their jerseys for City have always been good. Now, their regular jerseys, a different story, but
Yeah,
at least they did a redesign this year.
yeah. Next one is the San Antonio jerseys, which are also white, which I kind of learned I'm not a big fan of, but I do really like this
Mhm.
jersey. I like the subtle
Isn't
orange as well.
isn't this the same exact one they wore last year?
I think so. It looks similar. I
Yeah.
can't tell the difference, and I do remember really liking them last year.
I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't really like a crazy big fan, and partially similar to you with those white jerseys being really plain. It's like, okay to me. I think like I had it like a C range, but you thinking like higher probably?
Yeah, probably. I don't remember how high I put it because I do like it. I really like the font. I like how the orange pops. Should we just put it in B? Like most
I
of
think
the
yeah,
jerseys. Okay,
yeah. I think B is reasonable.
B definitely seems reasonable for that one. But let's move on to the Raptors, where they're actually kind of like celebrating Vince Carter because on the jersey,
Yeah,
on this like dark gray jersey, they have the classic Raptor logo, but this time doing the between the leg motion for the between the leg dunk that Vince Carter did in his infamous dunk contest. How do you feel about these?
I'm gonna say this. I like it a lot, and I think it's a really cool concept that they did to give a tribute to Vince Carter's dunk contest. Iconic moment. The only problem I have with it is the fact that they probably could have had a better like outline color to distinguish the black from the red, like the dinosaur and the background color. But aside from that, overall, I like it a lot. I put it as like an A tier, honestly. The only thing that stopped me from putting it in S tier is the distinguishment of the outline, I guess. But aside from that, I do like this jersey a lot. What do you think?
I My controversial take is that I'm not in love with these. Uh,
Mm,
I feel like it's weird that it's not in the center. It I feel like it's a little bit too much to the right. Like, I feel like it should have been
Yeah,
centered a bit more. And then, again,
I think.
question about where the number's gonna be. Is it gonna be by its
Yeah,
head? Is it gonna be under? Um,
I feel
I
like
just got
probably.
questions.
Yeah, I feel like probably by the head. Do you think that would probably make the most sense?
Maybe it'll be pretty
Yeah,
small, but I
yeah,
I think that makes sense.
yeah. And another thing, what you said regarding it being a little bit towards the right, I'm guessing probably the reason is because the tail being on like the left part, they had to like give a little bit of space there. That's probably the
Oh,
reason,
I think
maybe.
you're
But
right. Yeah,
yeah, I think that's the reason. But yeah, in that picture, it is kind of hard to see the tail if you don't pay attention.
it is. It's hard to tell.
Yeah.
Uh, Honestly though, since we haven't had a single A, I'm willing to put it in A. Like, I don't want to ruin the moment because this is an iconic, uh, a lot of iconic stuff going into one jersey. I feel like they put a lot more work into this jersey than other jerseys.
Oh yeah,
And it's
definitely.
definitely a lot of fanfare for the fans in Toronto, so I'm willing to put it in A, honestly, even with my complaints.
That. Yeah, that sounds good then. Yeah. A tier I think is just about right.
I won't budge on these next ones, though. These next ones are not going in A. They're the Washington Wizards one, where it says, I believe, District of Columbia. At least the biggest word says
Columbia.
District. And it looks like a slightly
Yeah.
better version of their jersey from last year, but still,
Yeah.
like, not good.
Uh-huh. And I will say this. Yeah, definitely I think honestly I think it's a lot better than last year's because last year that color was just completely nasty and disgusting looking.
Oh, yeah. It looked
Um
like throw up.
yeah, like this is one of the rare examples where I think the white is better than the color jersey. And I I don't hate these jerseys, but I don't love them either.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, I kind of had it in like the C range. Um, but I could argue lower, honestly, which I'm guessing you probably had lower, right?
I have it lower. I think it should be in D. Like, it doesn't look as good as the Atlanta one. To
Yeah.
me, maybe I guess I'm willing to put it in C.
Mm. You want to put it in C? Because I could be willing to put it in D also, honestly.
Hmm. This it's tough. It's not as boring. I guess I kind of like the font, with the red.
Yeah.
Uh,
It
and
kind of
especially
reminds me. Yeah. I was going to say it reminds me a little bit of like Disney logo.
a little bit, I guess. It reminds me of like
Yeah.
medieval times, honestly, which
Medieval times.
which
Yeah.
is kind of cool, but kind of
Yeah.
random for the Wizards, or maybe not. I
Yeah.
guess
I mean,
Wizards are in
I guess,
like
yeah,
medieval,
magic.
yeah, magic. So I guess that kind of makes sense, but
Hmm.
honestly, we could like flip a coin at this point. Like,
I'm down for that if you want.
you know, let's do that. Let's see if there's a website for flipping coins.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. So,
We-
what do you want to call?
Um,
Heads or tails?
I'll
Or
do.
how about this? One of them is C and one of them is D. We just decide which is which, I guess.
Okay. I'll
Do you want to
set.
do the heads C and tails is D?
Let's do that.
Okay, let's try.
All right.
Flip again.
I'm flipping it, and it's going into C. Okay, there we go. With the
All
flip
right.
of a coin, we now know that this jersey is going into the C tier. There we go. Congrats to the Wizards. Probably
Yeah,
gonna
for
be
a slight upgrade.
the only W of the year for them, probably.
Yeah, they're gonna be staying to take a lot of L's for sure.
Oh yeah, we'll definitely be talking about that next week, but we'll leave that for next week. This
Yeah,
week,
for sure.
let's talk about these New Orleans Pelicans jerseys that are purple. I believe there's a design on the actual jersey. I just don't remember if they're
It's
like a diamond
it's
sign or something.
it looks a little bit of like a zigzag
A
ish.
zigzag.
Yeah. Which honestly, I honestly kind of like these jerseys.
They're not bad. They're not bad. I
Yeah,
think I like them the most of the jerseys.
yeah. I like it better than their city jerseys from last year for sure. Say that.
I think last
Um,
year was similar, just a different colorway. I think they used more green, like
yeah,
a brighter green. This year
yeah,
they kind of toned it down a little bit.
yeah. I think last year it was very similar, except it was more greenish and they didn't have the zigzags. Um, but yeah, I think these are pretty cool jerseys. But I was thinking like maybe a B.
I'll put in B. I think B works for these. So
For
let's
sure.
do that. Let's leave in B. And the next one, we got our Los Angeles Lakers. The Lake Show, I believe is what it says, right? At the
Yeah,
chest. And it's like a gradient. So it starts off with like maybe a black, but probably a dark purple. And it becomes like a lighter purple. Not too light. It's still pretty dark. So that's why I want to say it's black on top. But yeah, it's a gradient, so it slowly transitions. How do you feel about these as a Lakers fan?
I will say this. I think when I saw the Lakers post the photo shoot pictures, I thought it looked a lot better than initially on this white background. Um, and honestly, like when I originally made this list, I think I had it in like the C tier range, but when we compare it to like some of these jerseys that we already have in the C tier, I think I actually like it better than most of those already in the C tier. So like I would argue maybe B tier, probably not A tier. What do you think?
I agree. I think. Sorry. Yeah, I went through like the same thing you did. I didn't like them at first. I thought they looked stupid. But when it was on LeBron, when it was on Lepuki, it looked fire. It was cool to see it on the actual players, and it just grew on me a ton. Like I thought the gradient was stupid. I thought the lake show part was stupid, but when it's actually on the players, it actually looks really sick. And definitely far
Yeah.
better than the ones from last year. So I'm willing to
Oh
put
yeah,
it in B as well.
definitely. And I will say this, probably more justice to be made when they're actually worn on the court. But for now, during the photo shoot, a lot better than just on the white.
Right. Next
Mm-hmm.
one, we got these Trailblazers jerseys. They're like gray with a design throughout the main portion of the jersey. There's some red on the side, and it says Rip City across the chest in white with like a red shadow. I like the font on Rip City. I kind of like the design as well. It's nothing mind blowing. It's nothing crazy, but I think it's a decent jersey. How about you? What do you think?
Honestly, I like these jerseys. I was thinking probably like B though, like not crazy amazing, but overall I think pretty good.
Okay,
Um,
I I'm down for that. I think B makes sense for this one. Um,
mm,
it's good, better than most, but it's nothing too crazy, I guess. Uh,
yep, agreed.
I wonder if these next ones, these Suns ones, do you like these? Do you consider them better than the Rip City ones?
I do like these, and I would say probably better than the Rip City. I was thinking A maybe.
I think I agree. I like it. I like the purple and orange. Like the Suns got a fire colorway. I'll say that. I think because of their colorway, they've always had such fire jerseys throughout their history, and I think this is one of them. I like the little star at the end or at the mid part of the jersey. It's cool. It's all cool. So I you said A, right?
Yeah, A.
Yeah, okay, I agree. I'll put it in A. I think that's where it belongs.
For sure.
Next one, we've got the Pistons. What do you think about these?
I think they're okay-ish, maybe. It's like a vanilla color, which honestly in the past I've been a fan of vanilla colorway of jerseys. Like the Sixers had one. That one was overall good, I think, in 2018 or 2019. I think the most famous one was the Bucks one, which was really cool. What unfortunately, I think I heard the reason why they stopped wearing those vanilla jerseys was because it didn't blend well with like the court on TV. Like they would accidentally glitch through the jersey's body or whatnot.
Oh, whoa.
So, yeah, it was weird. But I think it was more of a problem during the bubble though, when they were like doing those like custom graphic advertisements on the court to promote stuff due to the generic court not having like the team logos. But I think it's like cool-ish, nothing crazy special. I would say maybe like a B tier jersey. What do you think about it?
I love these jerseys. I love this colorway. This like vanilla kind of creamish color with the Pistons in black. The word Pistons in black. The orange on the side with the black line like bordering it. I think it's really cool. I put it pretty high. I don't remember how high. I think I might have put in S. Honestly.
S?
Yeah. Again, grading with a curve. Like it's no Jazz jersey, but it's really good compared to a lot of these from this year.
I actually do agree there though. Um, how about we put it in the A tier?
Okay, let's do that. We'll put in A. Next one. What are the next ones? Oh, they're the Cleveland Cavaliers one. I believe it says
Yeah.
the land or land.
I think just land. No,
Just
the
just land. It's would that be considered a baby blue, powder blue?
um baby blue. Or in between baby and powder. I think more baby though.
And on the side in white, I believe there's a lot of calves. I think it says calves everywhere, just very tiny.
I think so.
And kind of jumbled up.
Honestly,
What do you think? What do you think
yeah.
about these?
Honestly, I like these jerseys.
They're nice, yeah.
A good amount. Yeah. It kind of reminds me a little bit of a UNC University of North Carolina jersey because
Yeah.
they also wear like baby blue there, and that's the reason why I like it, honestly. Because I've always been a fan of the UNC baby blue, and this one like giving me like a little bit of like, I guess similar vibes. I'm a big fan of these. I think like at A tier, honestly.
A.
What do you think?
Why not? Let's throw it up there in the A tier. It's very lonely up top here, so I'm willing to put it A tier. I don't think I put it that high, but it is a nice jersey. I do think it's better than like the Minnesota one, maybe better
Oh yeah,
than the New Orleans one, the Rip City one. So I'm willing to put it in the A tier.
sounds good.
Next one, we got the Boston Celtics. It's like a blackish jersey with Celtics in like bright green and like just like a bright green stripe
Yeah,
on the
I
side.
like a lime green.
Lime green, yeah. What do you think?
Yeah, honestly, not a huge fan.
This is ass.
Um,
It's garbage. It's probably the
yeah,
worst jersey here, honestly.
yeah, it looks kind of dumb. Not gonna lie.
It
Like
does.
honestly, like the color wave. Usually I like these colors, black and
Same.
lime green. But the execution just looks so poor. Like, um, I think in my ranking, I didn't rank it like crazy low, but I had it like around the C range. But I can definitely argue lower, like D range maybe. What
Uh,
do you think?
I guess we could put it in D because I believe I put it in F. I thought this was one of the worst jerseys
Yeah,
released this year, but we could put it in D.
for sure. Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. Next one is probably debatably also one of the worst jerseys this year, and
Yeah.
it's the Miami Heat. They're once again going with the Heat culture thing, but instead of a black jersey with like red lettering or whatever they did last year, they have a red jersey with black lettering, and yeah, again it says Heat Gold. It's like a practice jersey. It sucks. It sucked last year. It sucks this year. It's probably worse this year since it's all red, and I preferred the black. What do you think?
I agree. This is not a good jersey, unfortunately. And the big reason is that the red and the black word fonts color distinction is just not good.
Yeah.
Um, that being said, I think I put it in like D tier range. And must I remind you guys that I did not have an F tier, so could be factored there. But yeah, what do you think? You think F tier, D tier, or
Something has to be in the F tier.
yeah? Then honestly, maybe why not? Let's put it in F tier.
F tier. Let's throw it
If
in
we,
there.
if we, yeah, low key though, I don't know if the Celtics one is much better, if at all.
Yeah, I agree. I had the Celtics jersey in F as well, so I do think they're very similar in quality, I guess. But moving on to the next one, which is the New York Knicks. Very similar to last year. Instead, it is a white jersey, but they still have, I believe, the pinstripe. Is it pinstripe? It's hard to see. Um,
I think
do
it is a very light,
a light
like tone.
pinstripe. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the New York part looks 3D. I think this one's worse than last year. What do you think?
Mm. I'm not gonna lie, low key, I think I might actually kind of like it better than last year's, the
Ooh.
white versus blue. Um, I was thinking maybe like a B range. You think lower or
I was thinking lower. Uh,
like a lot lower or not too much lower?
that's what I'm trying to figure out right now. Maybe not too much lower, so I guess we could leave it at B. I think
Okay.
I might have had it in C, so it's not
Okay,
too
then that's
far
like
apart.
yeah, then that's like close. Somewhere in the B or C range is fine, I think.
Yeah. All right. Next, we got Indiana, which is basically the same thing from last year. What's the main difference between this year and last year? Do you know?
Um, Last year was a black jersey. This year is white.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yeah,
Either way, I don't like them. I think they're pretty trash.
yeah. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I think it's okay-ish. Like, maybe I ranked it a little bit too high, honestly. Like, not crazy high, but I think I had it in like B range, but I can argue lower. Were you thinking like very low, like F,
I think D. I had it.
D?
Yeah.
Okay. How about we put it in C then, like an in between?
We could put it in C. Yeah, that's fair. That's fine.
Uh, for sure.
Next one we
Yeah.
got are the 76ers, where it says Sixers on the front, my bad, with the red font. And I like this font as well. It has some colors on the sides, some red, orange, green, and blue, like block colors. I like them. I really do. What do you think?
I agree. I like this jersey. I like the I like the red font. I like the colorful blocks on the side. I like the outlines around the collar and the sleeve. Overall, I just like this jersey a lot. I believe a few years ago the Sixers had a similar design, but it was like
Yeah,
it was like navy blue instead, I believe,
you're
and
right.
white instead
You're
of
right.
white. And that one was cool. I think this one is either cool about the same or even better,
I
maybe.
agree.
That being that being said, I think I ranked it like B originally, but I can argue A. What do you think?
You know what? Let's do A. I think it's just as good as many of the ones that we have in A at the moment. So I'm willing to
Agreed.
put it in A.
For sure. I think that is fair. That being said, our next jersey, Milwaukee Bucks. Kind of similar-ish to the last year ones, I guess. Like the similar color scheme, just a slight different design. Um, I will say this: I have been a fan of the Bucks blue jerseys they have worn recently, and I think I do like this one also. I was thinking maybe A tier. What do you think?
I do think I put this pretty high as well, even though it's nothing crazy. But I do really like
Yeah,
this
it's not great.
blue and this creamish
Yeah,
white colored with it. It
yeah.
works very well together. So again, it's nothing crazy, but most of these jerseys aren't anything crazy. Uh they're not the best crops. So I'm willing to put in A as well.
Bet. Yeah, and as you said, like it's nothing crazy, but it just looks really nice.
It does.
Like,
It's a nice color scheme. It's simple, but it's nice.
agreed. I think that the Bucks design last year might be like slightly cooler, but this one's still really nice.
Yeah. Next is these Magic jerseys, which it says Magic on the front. I think there's a star for the
Yeah.
A, and the is it a white or maybe like a very light gray? What do you think?
Oh, I think it looks more like a light gray.
Light gray. I think they're pretty nice.
Yeah.
I think they're cool. I like the the magic, like the word magic on there with the star. I always liked how they did that. And this color scheme's not too bad. I think it's a decent color scheme, even if it's like a little simple. I do like it.
Yeah. I must say this as far as this Magic jersey, I like the font a lot. I think the color is kind of mesh. Like honestly, I think I would like it better if it was just white versus like a light gray. Um, I think that the color kind of had me like rank it a little bit lower, but overall, I don't hate it. Like I think I put it in like about a C range, but I could argue higher, like B. Um, not sure about A, but depending on where you rank it, I guess we could compromise from there. What do you think?
I don't remember if I put it too high. I'm trying not to look at my list too hard. Just
Yeah,
go with what I'm feeling at the moment, and I do like them. So can we possibly put in B?
sure. Yeah, we can put it in B.
Okay,
I think
let's.
it's better than most of those other jerseys we have in C tier, so that's fair.
Okay, yeah. So that's the Magic. We're at the last jersey, everybody. We're at the Denver Nuggets, where they have the numbers once again, which I didn't like that idea last year, and I'm still not in love with that idea this year. But this time they do have a cooler color scheme. I believe, like you know how in maps to show like elevation, if that's what it's called, they use like different
Yeah.
colors. I think that's what they did here. I think those are like usual colors of elevation, and they have it on the sides. They used it in the colors, so I think that was a very creative move because
Mm-hmm.
of course this um, Colorado's in like the mountains, right?
Yeah.
So, what do you
Yeah,
think about these?
I agree. Very interesting execution they did for these jerseys, and I think a lot better than last year's, the black ones. Um, Overall, I think I put this in like around the B range. Um, I could maybe argue higher, honestly, now that I see it one more time. What do you think
I
about these Nuggets jerseys?
I would say B. I'm still not in love with the number ideas, and especially if the number, like the player numbers, are gonna be like the same, where it, like has the colors on the inside. It's gonna be looking too confusing. If they use like a different color, then I think it would work. But
Yeah.
at the moment, I'm not in love with it. But I'm willing to put it in B.
Okay, sounds good. And I think I will say I agree with you. I really do hope, and I think probably will be the case that they use a different color font for the player numbers versus the 5280
Yeah.
over the. Yeah. It's definitely a very interesting, unique approach, though, to put a number over the chest instead of the team name or even a logo.
Right. Interesting,
Yeah.
but I don't like it.
Yeah, it could backfire really bad, too.
Mm-hmm. But yeah,
Yeah.
that's our tier list. I guess we could do a quick recap. So, in S tier, we only have two jerseys. We have the, what are they called? Jazz purple mountain jerseys and the Memphis red jerseys. In A, we've got the Raptors, Suns, Pistons, Cavs, Sixers, and Bucks. B, we got the Nets, Kings, Rockets, Thunder, Timberwolves, Spurs, Pelicans, Lakers, Trailblazers, Knicks, Magic, and Nuggets. By far our biggest tier. C, we got the Hawks, Hornets, Golden State Warriors, the Wizards, and the Pacers. D, we got Mavs, Bulls, Clippers, Celtics, and F by itself, we got the Red Heat Culture jersey. So, looking at this tier list, do you think it's a lot different from your own tier list?
I think it's definitely a lot different with like several different factors playing in. One of them being like, for example, seeing the jersey another time, having a different thought, either like more appreciation or realizing like a jersey is not as good as originally anticipated. Definitely several factors there resulting in like the changes in our um common ground list, if you want to call it that way.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, definitely a good amount of tweaks for sure, I will say. And a good amount of similarities probably. Um yeah, I think definitely overall, I think probably more reasonable than the list I made now that I think about it, because of like the fact that we were able to both have more time to think through like our second thoughts, shall we say.
Right.
But yeah, what about you? You think probably quite different from your list, or
Yeah, I think it's pretty different. I didn't want to spoil anything, but I believe I had a lot more in the S tier and a lot more in F tier. And then it was spread out throughout the middle parts. So,
okay.
yeah, I didn't have such a long B. I didn't have such a small amount of S and F tier. I had like a good amount. So, it'll be interesting to look back, especially knowing that like I did change my mind on a few jerseys. I like while making our tier list together. That I'm sure. Yeah, looking back at the one I did earlier this week, maybe I don't agree with what I did earlier.
Yeah. And I get that. Like, once you see the jersey more, thoughts tend to change, whether for better or for worse.
Right. But okay, I think this is a good time to reveal our list from when we did it earlier to see like how different it is compared to I guess one another, and then I guess from what we did today. So let's transition to that. So here we go. We have them up right in front of you. On, I guess, the left is Hoops tier list. On the right is my tier list. And once again, as Hoops said, he didn't have an F tier. So his is S through D. I did add an F tier just because I feel like that's what it usually is. But, like, yeah, it is what it is. And do you want to read off your tier list? I'll read off mine and then we'll discuss.
Yeah. So I will say a little bit of a disclaimer is like after someone's thoughts, maybe some of these don't necessarily apply the same, but I'm gonna just roll with what I made. That being said, for the tier list that I made in the S tier, I have the Utah Jazz City jerseys. In the A tier, I have the Grizzlies, Cavs, Bucks, Suns, Raptors, and Timberwolves. In the B tier, I have the Thunder, Pelicans, Trailblazers, Pistons, Knicks, Sixers, Pistons. I think I said Pacers by accident earlier, so Pistons, and then Pacers, and then Nuggets. In the C tier, I have the Rockets, Wizards, Magic, Spurs, Hornets, Lakers, Celtics, Warriors, Nets, Kings, and Clippers. So the largest one there. And in the D tier, I had the Heat, Bulls, Mavs, and Hawks jersey. So definitely a good amount of changed thoughts since making this list for sure.
Yeah, so my list goes in S tier. I have the Pistons, uh, Grizzlies, Jazz, Rockets, Nets. A tier, Bucks, Raptors, and the Suns. B tier, Hawks, Cavs, Lakers, Timberwolves, Magic, Spurs, Pelicans. C tier, Hornets, Sixers, Kings, and the Warriors. D tier, Bulls, Mavs, Knicks, and Trailblazers. F tier, I've got the Celtics, Golden State Warriors, Clippers, Heat, Pacers, and the Wizards. So, looking at my list, what are some of the most glaring things you see compared to your list?
I think one of the bigger glaring things would probably be like the ranking. Like for example, we have quite a different view on the Pacers jersey. We have quite a different view on let's see. Maybe a little bit of a different view on the Trailblazers and the Knicks jerseys due to the fact like I have it in B and you have it them in D. And then I guess another significant part would be I guess me not looking at the Spurs white jerseys as highly as you do, and same for the Magic. But aside from that, maybe nothing even that crazy per se. I think the other ones, it's either I eventually agreed more with you because of like more thought, like for example, the Celtics being a lot worse and stuff like that, you name it. Or yeah, certain jerseys maybe even looking better. But overall, I think after we made the video together, a good amount of changed thoughts for sure. I guess, how about you? I guess anything that's really stands out about my list.
I feel like mm, definitely the Atlanta one. I put it really high. Maybe I should have put a little lower, but it's kind of surprising you have it at D. Well, like obviously we talked about that, but like still,
Yeah.
I I do think it looks a lot better than the Heat Bulls and Mavs jersey, though. I'll say
Yeah,
that.
initially I just wasn't a fan of it at all. I think it's not as bad once I see it more, though. To be honest.
Yeah, and then the it's interesting how you only have one S tier, which I guess it makes sense, right? You don't
Yeah, the Jazz.
you just want to put the best of the best up there, but I do like a few jerseys. One of them you are not as big of a fan of, the Rockets one. I put it in S tier, and maybe that's a bit high, but yeah, I don't think it should be C either.
Yeah, and I would say this, like, I I like the font a lot. The only thing is like kind of hard to read if you look at it from a distance.
Yeah.
Like kind of knock it down a little bit there. But I was definitely having like a debate whether to put it D or C, and I just started thought maybe C due to the lack of legibility. But overall, I think it's not a bad jersey.
hmm And I guess I have more issues with like myself than anything else. Like your list is fine. I guess like I'd put the Pistons one higher um than you. I guess just realized that I don't have the Nuggets on mine right now. So I think I would
Oh,
put that one in probably B.
uh-huh.
Um but yeah, most of my issues are with myself, honestly. Like you're fine. I'm wondering like why did I put Rip City this low? Uh, why did I put the Kings this low and the Sixers this low? They should all be bumped up like one or two. Um, I'm surprised how much I like the Minnesota one. I guess. I kind of
Yeah,
thought I'd put that lower, but I guess I have it at B. So it's definitely interesting ranking them like earlier within the day or the week, and then coming back to it with like a fresh set of eyes, I guess. Uh,
yeah.
because yeah, not only do I not agree with some of your placements, but I don't even agree with some of my placements at this moment.
Yeah, and I completely agree with you how I feel on my own list now, looking back after a little bit. Like, it's like, what was I thinking in certain areas? Like, like for example, some of the jerseys that I put in the same tier, like for example, C tier, the Lakers jersey versus the Celtics jersey, for sure the Lakers is much better than the Celtics one. I shouldn't have put them in the same tier. Like,
I didn't even
yeah,
notice that, but yeah, that's kind of wild.
yeah, it is wild for sure now that I look at that again. Um, yeah, but I guess that's the part of human nature. Your thoughts change after you look at a thing another time, and then probably it will change once again once we see the jerseys on the actual courts.
On the actual
So
people as well. Yeah, I'm sure it will.
definitely,
All right, so I guess we could transition back to our faces now instead of the jerseys. All right, we're done with the tier list for this week. We did the city jerseys. Let us know what you guys think. Do you like these city jerseys? Do you not like them? Did you like our ranking of them? Let us know down below in the comments. And yeah, that's it. That's it for us this week. Again, very uncertain about next week's video or the week after, but we'll try to make it work. Because it again, we're almost there to the season. We've been waiting for this for so long that we gotta make it happen. So hopefully we do. But yeah, I guess that's it for us this week. Anything you want to say before we head out?
yeah, just per usual. Thanks to all of you guys for the constant support, viewing our content. Um, Definitely really appreciate you guys and couldn't be where we are without it. Um, Per usual, if you guys like our content, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share, and also make sure to stay tuned to our YouTube shorts, TikTok, and listen to us on Spotify too if you like there. If the audio versus viewing visually, though. Of course, for this video, visualization is probably better. Anyhow, we appreciate you guys as always, and we got some more cool content coming up for the following weeks leading up to the start of the season, which is quickly approaching now. So, fun times ahead for sure. We look forward to it.
Most definitely. So make sure you're following us, subscribed, engaging with the content, leave a comment, like it, follow us everywhere, do all that. But yeah, hopefully we'll see you next week. And that's it for us. Goodbye.